Buenos días humanos, bienvenidos a esta sesión sobre la experiencia del empleado aumentada. Estamos emocionados.
Welcome, we are thrilled of participating in this amazing encounter where technology and human talent bond to create amazing things. But before digging in, allow us to introduce ourselves. Of course, we are BNB, virtual avatars of Belén and Bruno. It could be said that we are like a musical duo, and we sneezed into the MWC to get to know how the real world is, because it looks like in a few years it will be us. Oh, hello. In your language model, the sense of humor has been deployed, but don't joke around, because as you know, our human creators are very serious. You are right, and probably they are somewhere around here. Thankfully, we are always ready in the backstage in case we need to jump into the stadium. let Belén and Bruno tell us a little bit more about the recent developments on artificial intelligence. Let the show start.
Hola, buenos días a todos.
Buenos días.
Hello and good morning. Belén, what amazing avatars we have, don't we? I don't know what happened to mine, but my avatar has lost its accent. Please do not dismantle my AI. It's not so bad. I know you speak a great deal with your avatar. What does he ask you? He asks me plenty of things, quite funny ones. Yesterday he asked me, what do we feel by working in Telefónica? And I was quite impressed by the question. Probably my avatar has been navigating in the database. It realized that we are marking our 100th anniversary and so on and so forth. But then it insisted. She wanted to know what the employee experience is about, and to the extent, as far as I know, my avatar hasn't developed human feelings. So to answer this question, I had to ask another chat box for some support. ChatGPT, does it ring a bell? So I asked GPT for a little help, and it told me that the employee experience is the perceptions and feelings that employees have at work. This includes our employee environment, the corporation's culture, our relationship with peers and bosses, the job benefits, work-life balance, flexibility provided by tools and means, development opportunities, etc. So I told my avatar about it, and I told it that the employee experience is an important investment for organizations because its employees work in a friendly environment, flexible, and if we can develop ourselves professionally, we engage and we bring all our talent on the table. Many organizations list employee experience amongst its priorities. Actually, it's in the top 3 of many organizations where they engage in a transformation process. And of course, my voice told me, Belén, how would you rank your employee experience in Telefónica? I was quite surprised because it would have found the ranking in the database last year. We carried out an experience where we asked employees how happy they are with their employee experience and what grade did we get. A 7, not bad. A B, which can be improved, yet it's not bad. And you might be thinking, well, you just said that there are many elements that build an employee experience. To what extent is technology important? 75% of employees consider that technological tools have a direct impact in their everyday life, because when we get at work, the first thing we do is to turn on our computers. And to improve the employee experience, 70% of employees are asking for new tools that will help them to keep developing their activities and actions. This is why engaging in transformation processes that contribute to improving the employee experience is one of the main objectives of IT departments. Here are some relevant elements. We need to develop tools that help us improve our life-work balance, etc. Look, Bruno, at this figure here. Analytics and artificial intelligence are listed as an incipient tool to improve employee experience, and I had the feeling that artificial intelligence has entered into our lives as an elephant in the room. It looks like there's no other thing than generative AI nowadays, absolutely. So, as it has been said, artificial intelligence is the elephant in the room, and especially a generative AI. If we look back and look at how we use more traditional artificial intelligence, And if we compare traditional AI and generative AI, we can conclude that generative AI is not only an evolution but a revolution. In traditional AI, we had to train our own models and use cases. I remember when I was at uni and I started playing with traditional AI, I was surprised by the fact that it was said that generative AI was intelligent, and for me it wasn't the case because you had to train the model, whereas generative AI means the model is up there, you only have to play around with it to introducing bias. And this is reaching organizations, so we're getting to a paradigm where we are matching technology and humans. And there's a debate around to what extent people perceive that AI can even end up replacing them at work. 49% of respondents to the survey are concerned about it, but in fact, well, there is no doubt that many things will change, but here, as you can see, 70% of employees will start using AI at work. And 46% of organizations, which seems a very low percentage because it seems like there's a long way ahead. So 46% of organizations are integrating processes with AI within their organizations. Now, if we look at where is AI being implemented, well, AI is implemented in many areas. The most common ones are processes automation and robotization, and on the other hand, as you said, user experience, virtual assistants, customer service. So 28%, 30%, all these figures speak about the fact that there is a long way ahead in the field of artificial intelligence. Now, Belén, what about employees? Well, I have the feeling that artificial intelligence was the step we were necessary to achieve an incremental employee experience. If we look at the impact of previous technological developments, we realize that jobs and technology at work has been growing systematically to contribute to a better employee experience. A while ago, we used to work with one single device and connectivity. And of course, we wanted a very competitive work environment. Now there's mobility and collaboration. So we broke the physical boundaries and now we can work from anywhere in the world. And all of a sudden the COVID-19 pandemic struck us and we had to work remotely. This is how virtual meetings and virtual environments meant a true revolution. And now all of a sudden artificial intelligence is contributing with many different tools and capabilities which are impossible for a human mind. So we are at a very interesting turning point. Here is the starting point. All organizations are putting employees at the center, surrounding employees with all the necessary technology to work, and this has allowed us to have a personalized approach, which is a very positive experience nonetheless. With the inclusion of generative artificial intelligence and intelligent automation, we are opening an extra layer, an augmented experience where employees can work in another dimension. They will have a predictive attention model. So even before they spot the problem at work, the system will identify it proactively and can solve problems transparently without the user having to engage, even when the procedure to solve such problem does not even exist. And you must say that I'm right. We're sometimes concerned by employee experience in meetings. I don't know about you. I know that you spend a lot of time in meetings, so artificial intelligence will allow us to transfer some meetings in the asynchronous environment will be buying a lot of time, so all decision-making meetings for prioritization or drafting a roadmap will be celebrated unattendedly and only when we have time to do it. So all this information that we generate and that we process through artificial intelligence, generative AI, will allow us to take decisions in another dimension, in a much more powerful way. And perhaps the most relevant thing is that artificial intelligence, generative AI that is, will walk side by side with us throughout this transformation journey. Talent attraction, all human resources units will be able to use artificial intelligence to somehow overcome human bias. Not to speak about the onboarding. When we engage new talent, there is of course a learning curve which takes quite a long time until the person is 100% available. Today we'll have virtual trainers that will help us get up in pace as soon as possible. Now in our everyday life, coders, programmers will receive recommendations on code lines. This doesn't really mean that their creativity is going to be undermined. No, they will have a tool with which to push it forward and enhance it and boost it. Growth. Later we'll see an example. Artificial intelligence can recommend employees, training and vacancies, etc. Now, of course, the exit moment, a moment that really worries organizations. There is a lot of turnover. This is normal. People like change. So we minimize talent loss because somehow we ensure the talent can stay within the organization. Wow, so many different things. Let's see some use cases. I believe this is the most relevant thing, isn't it? Let me tell you a little bit more about the first use case with generative AI used to automate the emails processing procedure. Let's say that a company services its staff through an email channel. In this case, as in the case of Belén and myself, I don't know, let's say booking a trip because they have to come to Barcelona or anywhere else. So in this video you will see how an employee, let's click on, so let me tell you a little bit more. An employee wants to book a trip to Las Palmas, the Canary Islands, and here's the email with the contact information and the destination in Spanish, which is fine. And it adds information, the ID card. As you can see here, this is a list of emails. So the first thing artificial intelligence does is encoding it and coming up with patterns, destination, name, the ID card, information, etc. And it even extracts the feeling. The feeling is positive. Why? Well, mainly because the person is happy to travel abroad. So this example is in Spanish, but imagine an organization with employees all around the world. In this case, we have one staff member that works in a language which we believe to be Chinese, and the person attaches a passport. Not like we really do know how to read Chinese passports, but again, artificial intelligence will extract the parameters of this document, the ID number, and will manage the information accordingly. The email will be attached to the relevant line. The parameters will be set up, as you can see here. The feeling here is negative, well, because it spots that the person is complaining. The person is not upset, but the person is complaining. So considering this is a negative feeling, we can set up an automation to prioritize the case for an agent. So here the person is complaining because she considers that the ticket is too expensive. So the example here is interesting. Now when it comes to, well, this can be used to manage tickets, to prioritize attention, and we can even send notifications through Teams when we spot that there is a very serious problem. So this is only one of the use cases, Belén. But I know there's one that you really like. Yeah, indeed, because it's very important and because it's been. What I mean is, in this presentation, well, Bruno and I have prepared this presentation, and yesterday on our way to Barcelona on the train, we thought, why don't we ask artificial intelligence to help us a little bit? And I wanted to tell you a little bit more about this other use case. I'm sure you know it. Co-pilot tools integrated in collaboration tools in the typical O thematics. Microsoft is an example amongst many others. There are other options out there in the market. This is a virtual assistant that is integrated in this collaboration suite and helps you around. So you are in the pilot seat, you run the show, you fly the plane, but side by side you have a virtual assistant that helps you overcome problems in your everyday life that will, of course, for example, I don't know, help you summarize a document, having the key concepts listed in some meetings where we haven't attended. One can spot if there has been homework given to us. It really understands natural language. It can help you do whatever you like thanks to the language. It really navigates around your information and the information you share with the organization in order to build content. And of course, you have to add your personal touch, but at least you do not face a blank book. Again, it could have been used yesterday. Copilot, PowerPoint. So, one of the elements down here is building a PowerPoint document through a PowerPoint. If we had built this document in a PowerPoint and we attach it to Copilot, it would have generated a document like this automatically. Of course, this can happen, of course not. But you can give it instructions to keep improving. Now, this document with a great deal of text, we can ask the machine to build it in something a little bit more visual, and it's automatic. All the nodes are generated automatically also, so not only does it help you having better presentations and doing them quickly, but also it gives you like a little bit of a tip document that helps us becoming excellent speakers. You might think that this is going to be extremely useful, right? But there's more, isn't there? Absolutely. We speak about Copilot, which is going to help us in our workstation, and that is going to help us with Microsoft. Now, when it comes to ticket management, you might know that last year we were here presenting a use case in Telefónica that makes us very happy, and we're working with it with our customers, a virtual assistant to support employees. As we will see in the clip, the thing will help us open tickets automatically in a natural language. We will get rid of the complexity and we will send it all to artificial intelligence for its processing. As you can see, typical use case, asking for a new mouse, and the first thing the artificial intelligence does is understanding my need, solving it according to the defined pattern, and where the whole thing has to be scaled up. It will include my information, my employee number, my employee name, and only by adding a short description and a title, the ticket will be opened. So what's behind? There is an integration with the ITCM. The tool or the virtual assistant will open ticket, will include all the information, not much, and there will be a relevant categorization. From here on, what can be done? We can check the open tickets and cancel them if necessary, scale them up, add information. Say we're working on a software homologization. We could do it here. And as you can see here, well, actually we're asking to cancel or scale the ticket, sorry, and the system says that the policy is that we have to let 24 hours elapse. So in this case, we're just going to cancel it. This is a typical case, isn't it? This is a typical use case, but if we broaden the scope and we go to, say, human resources, general services, the virtual assistant is ready for whatever you need. It can integrate with any application, not only human resources. Here is, it's a guided process. As you can see, there are different tokens, it's open language. And as I said before, it can be used by different units, human resources, general services. The philosophy behind this type of project is for users and employees to have one single communication channel through which managing their requests. There is another very interesting use case in education or training, and it's an excellent example because at the end of the day, artificial intelligence aims at imitating the way humans learn. So applications in training and education are numerous. Through artificial intelligence, we can develop a test environment to come up with a virtual training. So we need an environment that helps us learn, that challenges with new problems to solve. So it's real life training before you jump into the scene. So organizations really consider it, and human resources organizations are very much interested, and they are very much advanced in the search for artificial intelligence. Another element which is very useful has to do with developing content automatically. Before we gave you the example Copilot. So if you need content, if you need a learning pill which is inexistent, you can build it and you can model it accordingly in the way your employees want to consume it. So it has this extra personalization layer. As Bruno said, I hope you're not going to be upset, I took your logo. There's another element that our assistant is incapable of doing yet. Perhaps in the next mobile will be managed to say the contrary. Help learning, becoming a mentor. As you know, in many occasions, learning processes are long, tedious. We get tired on the way. It's difficult to make it compatible, so we end up abandoning the process. Virtual assistants can become excellent mentors, supporting us, cheering you up, and it can recommend content. This is precisely the video that we wanted to show you. In Telefónica we have a tool which, by the way, is very powerful, and it's really focused on ensuring that all Telefónica employees keep our knowledge up to date. And here in this clip you will see that according to your own skills, your current skills, the platform will recommend you the necessary trainings to have a more robust profile or to apply to job vacancies which would be at your, let's say, reach the moment you acquire such skills. We haven't used artificial intelligence here yet, but it's a way ahead in this race towards talent retention, which is something that really concerns organizations. And having said that, I believe we need to share our conclusions. As you can see, the concept artificial intelligence is probably is like a trending topic today for any one of us working in the field of technology. As you will see, artificial intelligence has an impact on users' experience. It also improves the business, response times, automation, satisfaction levels. And here we have presented use cases which are prepared to be implemented in any company. And all this brings us to our last conclusion, which is that organizations which do not implement AI solutions will lag behind. So here the debate is, are we in a lead path, or are we going to be victims of such disruption? Here in Telefónica, we know that we want to lead. We're very clear on it. We are in the leaders team, and this is our take, and we are at your disposal. Thank you very much for your attention, and have a lovely day.
Muchas gracias.
Sí. Preguntas.
Chicos, enhorabuena, menuda exposición.
Congratulations, what an amazing presentation, excellent. I would like to ask you, when it comes to training, what has been done in Telefónica in terms of avatars? Are there going to be like virtual teachers soon? We are working down this line, as you know, in Telefónica, and actually Bruno and myself, we are also trainers. Quite recently, actually on February the 15th, we promoted a training for the sales force. Some of you are in the room, and when I had to leave, my avatar and we're quite thrilled because, you know, this will give us the opportunity of exploring new things. And like yourself, I am fascinated by training. I believe it's a very fresh and creative way of motivating in a different way. At the end of the day, here in Telefónica, we sell technology, and we do so by using technology to display the message.
Esto que hemos visto.
When it comes to avatars, and as you have seen in the presentation, this is an animated picture, not an avatar with our own voice, of course, but today there are hyper-realistic avatars, as Belén mentioned in the training Belén was referring to. Even myself, even our pupils were like, wow, it's my voice, it's my image, it's my way of moving around. So the realism in avatar is not only in Telefónica, but also for our customers is extremely relevant. Amazing. Is there any other question? I don't think so. Thank you. Have a lovely day. Bye.
Gracias, buenos días.
Gracias, Belén.
Hola a todos, buenos días, bienvenidos.
Hello everybody and good morning. Welcoming to everybody watching us here in Agora or through streaming. 4 days living technology. We are going to present a project that has a lot of technology, a very beautiful, complicated project, very stressful because we had to do it in a very short time. I lost kilos, a few kilos, but I put them on again, as you can see. So before starting and sharing the project, we're going to show a video that is going to show you what's the project about. We take a step forward. You see the English version at the bottom.
De Madrid y Telefónica con el fin de mostrar una experiencia única durante los partidos a través de la realidad virtual.
En el momento del cambio al Civitas Metropolitano, desde el Atlético de Madrid, lo que buscábamos era cómo llevar la experiencia a otro nivel. Y pensamos que la conectividad nos podía ayudar en esto. Teníamos una máxima que era que pudieras disfrutar del partido y no te perdieras nada de lo que pasa en el terreno de juego, pero que también pudieras disfrutar de otros espacios en los que normalmente no puedes acceder.
Multicam 5G es una experiencia web basada en web RTC. Para el usuario es tan sencillo como poner una URL en el navegador de la gafa, tablet o PC. Una vez que has puesto la URL, lo único que tienes que hacer en la gafa es seleccionar con el mando el contenido o el sitio donde quieres desplazarte, en tablet con tu dedo y si estás en un PC con el ratón.
A través de las cámaras 360 vas a poder ver todo lo que pasa a través del túnel de vestuarios, vas a poder ver a los entrenadores, vas a poder ver cómo salen los jugadores. Tenemos otra posición que está justo detrás de la portería y también tenemos otras dos cámaras en sitios que habitualmente no se puede acceder. Uno es el centro del control del espectáculo y finalmente en donde están los medios de comunicación para que se vea también la intrahistoria de cómo contar un partido desde dentro.
Este proyecto es posible gracias a las capacidades que nos da la red 5G. Más ancho de banda, menos latencia o un mayor número de dispositivos conectados. Pero no solo usamos la red 5G, también nos apoyamos en dos tecnologías clave, la fibra óptica y la computación en la nube. Usando estas tres capacidades que Telefónica tiene, hacemos realidad experiencias que hasta ahora no eran posibles.
Muy bien, está muy chulo y puedes ver los vestuarios, el banquillo y todo lo que es del estadio, lo puedes ver y está muy bien.
Pues ha sido muy divertido, te puedes poner en un montón de sitios y me ha gustado mucho.
Es una experiencia increíble, un acierto por parte del Atlético y de Telefónica.
El objetivo al final es un objetivo estratégico que compartimos tanto Telefónica como el Atlético de Madrid y es consolidar al Civitas Metropolitano y al Club Telefónica en particular como un hub de nuevas tecnologías en el que los aficionados puedan venir a probar una forma diferente de vivir los partidos de fútbol.
Perdona, que tengo un pequeño problema. Vale, solucionado. Para contar el proyecto contamos con...
We have here Alejandro Ugarrio from Atlético de Madrid, director of Athletic Labs, and he's been in charge of the development of DT Lab. Round of applause and thanks for being here. He's also going to help me, my friend Ana Vega, who participated in this project as well. Thank you very much for being here. It is a very important day and I know that you have a lot of things to do. So Atleti Labs it's a new initiative, so tell us, which are your goals? Well, first of all, thanks for having invited us. It's a pleasure to be here and explain. It's born in the Department of Digital Lab and it started 1 year ago when we wanted to find approaches and technologies that would allow us to grow through innovation. Our main goal is to be able to make products of tests and implementing in our department. So we gave it a lot of food for thought, and we decided to do it through different professionals, and it is something that must help us when achieving these goals. And how do we do it? Well, this team, apart for contributing with their work, they contribute with their budget, and we have all the verticals working, and we have a match actually this evening, and well, you need to have time to implement it. That's what we do. We test these projects, and this is what makes the difference, and this is what our colleagues are valuing, and then we can adopt each one of the projects. So you're very creative, very innovative, and you have a lot of ideas, and I'm sure you want to do a lot of things. And how do you establish priorities in Atleti Lab? Well, fundamentally, we assess the strengths of the club. But to us, it is connectivity. Connectivity is one of the strengths, and during the last months in Atleti Lab, we've done many projects related to connectivity and the relationship and interaction with the supporters, with the fans, and also making contests and then also the social media and getting selfies from the supporters and having them in the stadium depending on the different circumstances, St. Valentine's or Halloween or Christmas. And we have also implemented other platforms that are more related to offering a new service to the users, Atleti Pay. It is a marketplace and a payment method, and it facilitates our supporters the possibility to ask for food, order goods from the retail shop, and then you don't have to make lines to buy things, and this is an added value. So talking to Telefónica, it was very easy to understand each other because Telefónica was also in line with 5G and connectivity. And the challenge is, what can we do in the stadium with 5G so that the two visions are joined together? It is a common vision since we started Civitas Metropolitano in 2013. How can we improve the experience of the fans and the supporters? We're going to talk about Civitas Metropolitano, the stadium that was opened in 2017. You have received a lot of awards because of the technology you use, international awards. You're a technological referent, and more than 2,000 optic fiber, 6,000 Wi-Fi points, and giving coverage to smartphones, 7,000 network points. So a technological deploy, and some stadiums are being refurbished and following this big deployment because the technology is very important in stadiums. And how did you have this vision when you started working on that? And how can you move forward? Because we want to be at the same level as you are. Well, we have a vision, and I think it is our shared vision. And before we were talking about technology and its importance and technology to change the experience of the supporter. And we've been pioneers in many things. And more than 1,000 screens all over the stadium. So we wanted to implement all these different technological solutions that can improve the experience and how the aficionados can enjoy the experience. So we are talking about a hyper-connected stadium. And but why? Well, we have a lot of users. First of all, people can send messages and video calls from our stadium, and they are our ambassadors as well, because people sharing their experiences, so we reach more people. And also the co-creation with our supporters, because when the supporters are in the stadium, then the stadium has a soul. So the aficionados can participate, contributing with their creativity, using their smartphones during the match. And how is this going to help you all, this project that we did, 5T Multicam, to continue with this challenge of being the first ones in technology? Well, I think that it's already helping us, and since the beginning, when we started the project, we could feel this growing interest. And so this shows the success, not only for the club, but also for Telefónica. And it is very important. And I think that the project has an additional value, because we are witnessing a transformation in the relationship we have with the brands. Normally, the sponsors talk with the departments and sponsorship and marketing departments. Now we are taking one step forward, and we are co-creating with our partners. And it's not only sponsoring the assets that we already have, but creating other assets, giving an added value to the stadium and to the club. It's a step forward. Very interesting indeed. And so to give more details about the project, we are going to talk about the architecture of the service that we are offering and we have developed. So we had to develop a service, a very technological service, and the main challenge that we had is that it has to be in real time. So we have the viewer, and we have tablets, PCs, and if there is a goal, you need to see the goal. We cannot go 3 seconds behind. So the design has been designed having this into account. How did we solve the problem? Well, with technology. The first technology, well, Telefónica technologies. So in the end, it's just 3 technologies, fundamentally 3 technologies. Optic fibers, to upload the content. We have 360 cameras all around, and these cameras offer you a whole complete vision, so you have a lot of video feed coming from the camera, and 10 or 12 gigabits per second. So we need fiber optics, and we need network points, so that we can upload these images. And then, as I said, we process these in a CPD we have in Civitas Metropolitano Stadium. And we cannot process it in the edge computing. We need to compress it, we need to code it in the stadium very fast, so that we have no latency, so that the latency is very low in milliseconds. So we code and then we launch it to the cloud, edge computing concept, and we need to give a very fast answer, as I was saying. If we are going to watch it in San Francisco, no, sorry, if we have to send it to San Francisco and send it back to Spain, it's not going to work, so we have to do it in Madrid. And this feed of video, it's not going to be of 10 gigas, it's going to be lighter. But it's still pretty heavy. We upload it to the nearest cloud edge computing, and then we launch all the signals of the camera, and then we see the customers that are in the stadium using different devices, and they are choosing what they want to see. You choose what you want to see. There is not someone deciding what you want to watch. So this download of the video from the edge computing, it is a feed of video, and we need high capabilities. We need 5G, because in the end, in the stadiums, we had 5G routers. We had to deploy other things, and then using the tablet or using your goggles or headsets. And then we also added some technologies. We didn't want the user to be concerned about downloading an app and updating the app or upgrading the app. So it's only based on the browser. So Anna is going to show us how you see what's the result, and it is a real-time result, less than 400 milliseconds, so that there is no delay. So it would not be feasible then. And once we have developed this, Alex, I'm going to ask you now. So we are talking about this 360 degrees cameras. Why? Well, it's not only technology per se. We have another challenge, and we needed the help of La Liga, that was present during the development of the pilot project. I wanted to thank them for making it possible. So it's not only putting these cameras there, it's where you place the cameras. We wanted to change the paradigm. So you get into a stadium, you have your seat, you need to sit on your seat, and once you sit there, you cannot move. And technology can help us. Technology can change this. You can move from one place to another place, and I am going to be in the tunnel, I'm going to be in the dressing rooms, I'm going to be on the grass. So we realized that this has to be a complement, and apart from the real time, and you cannot miss anything. You need to have all the cameras. You have these different cameras that goes together with the production. So where can we place these cameras so that this has an added value for the aficionado? And we have different options. And in the stadium we have different points, and we could test these points, and then we decided to put them in the places where you cannot normally be, because this gives an added value to the supporters. And some of them were with us. They moved because they thought that the ball was going to hit them wearing the goggles. So it is one step forward and improves the experience of the user. Well, what All Access is amazing and trying when you believe that it's going to hit you, the ball, these degrees of immersion, and in the end, this is why the user always have a big screen where you can see the content. And so once we solve the real-time problem, we see that there are other problems, and we think that they are interesting and they could match the experience. And there are some contents that might be interesting to the aficionados, and apart from having the live feed, we can start watching you can start the experience by watching previous matches, and they can participate in the warming up of the players, and how you can, I don't know, the lights, for example, the show of lights. And it is a space where there are a lot of people. You can turn around, and there are a lot of people there, and you feel that you are in the game. So we started the project in Civita, so the rights are from Movistar Plus, and then the service is prepared to take us all over the world. So how do you see all this? Do you think this is going to be a reality? Well, obviously, the first thing would be to follow the regulations, and in this sense, La Liga helped us a lot. So we assessed each one of the circumstances, but this type of content, immersive content, is a reality. So we are going towards an enrichment of this signal with stats and participation, living this action with friends that can help you, and helping you a lot. So in the end, everything goes this way, and it's a new service, and with just this you can talk to an artificial intelligence, and they can help you and share this experience. And in this sense, they did it with superheroes. So imagine, and we have these matches as if it were a comic. Very interesting. And now we are going to have different examples using the browser. And what's the feeling they have? So this is the beginning of the experience, and we have the aficionados, the supporters, with this augmented reality, and we get into the stadium And then we see these different experiences, and we can see the game from different perspectives. And this is the lighting. The music is very loud. We will do our best from the interpreting booth. So we can see the grass, how they are taking care of the grass. And also the people in the stadium, and also the stands and the terraces, and the mascot in front of us, and why is this so important. And we can have a complete experience of this experience. And the dressing room, how they are preparing. You can see the wide variety of shoes they use, the trainers they use, and how the kitmen prepare the players' stuff. And we went to this match that celebrated the 100th anniversary of the club, enjoying the team. And you are very engaged, as you can see. And then if we move it to the real time, we have where we do the production of the video. And there are 25 people, let's stress, and the producer. And also in the ground we can see all the supporters. So you can leave the match very alive, as you can see. And also we can go to the press room and see the sky camera that broadcasts from the top. I'm gonna turn down the volume. So the experience was very immersive and amazing, and everybody was really happy with it. Well, thank you very much, Anna. I don't know if there are any questions. We have 1 minute left. Well, good morning. Thank you very much. And congratulations for the project. I really love it. So I wanted to ask a question to Alex regarding this focus on the fans, on the aficionados, and you are responsible of innovation, and which is the main challenge now, and how are you going to improve the experience from now on? Well, First of all, I would like to help the team in making the pilot possible, because in the end, apart from technology, there is a great team of people, and which is our challenge. Next steps for our aficionados. Well, we needed to keep the experience that the fans had in the past also. Face-to-face experience, because we have millions of supporters, and technology has to allow us to assist them in a personalized way, and everything related to that is going to lead us to success. This is the most important thing. And knowing which are their needs, this is the way to follow, I think. Fantastic. I want it right now. I wanted to ask Alex, which is the camera that the aficionados like the most? When you talk to them, what do they say? Well, 360 cameras. The most important thing is to have activity very close to the cameras, because they give you a lot of detail when it's close, right? So we had a camera that was in the center, just in the tunnel outside the dressing rooms, very close to the benches where the coach is, and you can see people cheering up. So in this space where you cannot physically be, I think that it's the camera that they like the best. And also, it's important to use these cameras that are very compact, because the impact on the professionals working there, the players, is very reduced. So they can behave in a natural way, so to say, because the camera is very tiny, very compact. So they can be there, behave. They are sweating, and you can see them sweating, and this is what the aficionados valued. Yeah, it's like having a VIP entrance, isn't it? A VIP ticket. And yes, what we did with them is that there were people who were wearing these glasses, and some people were closer to the coach, or were using their goggles, obviously, and was a feeling of I've never been here before, and I will never be here. So it's amazing. Let's make the most of it. It's like the super VIP ticket. And if we have a limited number of goggles in such an event, how can we make everybody participate? So in Club Telefónica, we have a very big screen like the one we have here, and the aficionados who could not wear the goggles could see using the tablet what the others could be seeing. And people who could not wear these headsets, their goggles, they could follow it with this screen. And this way, everybody could enjoy it. Well, thank you very much.
Hay unas siglas que últimamente se escuchan mucho. Muchísimo. ESG, 3 siglas muy importantes para Telefónica. Desde el área global de sostenibilidad nos encargamos de todo lo que se refiere a estas siglas. Pero ojo, tú también nos ayudas en tu día a día. Hablamos de sostenibilidad o ESG. Nuestra
Ay. Ay. Aquí tengo.
Hola a todos, muchas gracias por acompañarnos.
Hi everyone, and thank you very much for being here. I am Matilde from the Wayra team in charge of business development with our startups, and we are going to share our experience creating collaborations between corporations and startups. And we are going to show a real case, the collaboration between Telefónica and WiseCX, and I have here David Cabrera, CEO of WiseCX, and Fernando, Asín, Director of Marketing for Telefónica Spain. So before I give you the floor, I think it's important to share what's on Wayra, what we offer, and our role. So Wayra is the corporate venture capital of Telefónica, and we have different hubs, and our main role is to create connections between Telefónica and the entrepreneurship ecosystem. In order to do that, we are the engine of Telefónica for open innovation, to bring innovation to the corporation through products or solutions that are in the ecosystem. Our main role then is to invest. We invest on a wide variety of startups, different technologies, different degrees of maturity, so that we look for a return on the investment, but also a business potential with Telefónica, that they can fit our value of proposal in some sort of way. We offer this service to Telefónica for the past 15 years. We have invested in more than 1,000 startups, and we've been able to connect 300 startups with our customers and with Telefónica. Why do we do that? Well, it is a way to help our investments to grow and generate business and reach our customers, and to expand internationally, and also to give an added value. So we introduce these solutions in the corporation so that we can improve our internal processes, digitalization processes for our customers, and use these solutions and these innovative solutions offered by startups. And we have a number of cases very successful, and this is the case of WiseCX. And David is here to explain with us what Wise does, and how did you start this relationship with Telefónica? Well, thank you very much to you all. Thank you, Fernando and Matilde. When in WiseCX, we focus on helping the company to generate some links with their customers. So if you need to sell more or retain a customer, and we do it through different solutions. And one of them is our omni-channel tool that allows us to concentrate all communications and which is the voice of the customer. And we relate to Wayra. We started in 2016 through Wayra Argentina, and then we started the relationship with Telefónica, and we started growing in all the other countries. We have doubled our size year after day, and after year, and then we always look to double our turnover and our size. And then, how did you start this collaboration with Wayra South America? Well, it started in Argentina, as I said. We were not used to interacting with a corporation. And when we started this relationship, we could boost each other, and we started to grow. And well, there are a lot of benefits, and so Telefónica is an ally. It's an ally to us, and we want to increase the $1 million turnover in the few years, and Telefónica is our strategic ally, and we can reach many places because Telefónica has a big capillarity with thousands of workers in how many executives or commercial salespeople are. So for any startup, it would be impossible to have this big number of workers in different places in Spain. And to use these and to boost it. So I think that it is easy to understand also to look for investment in some ideas and other products and what we can contribute to a corporation, and this can help us and it is a focus on the customer, Well, it's giving us a lot of in a different way in which we do it, and we get close to the market, and then when we work with the startups, then it is a different way, and we can know innovation and what's going on in the market, which are the needs, and then we can identify some gaps. How we cover it and reach some agreements with these startups, and also these companies are customers of Telefónica, so we started to see the needs of these companies, and this allows us to adapt ourselves to the proposal and this value proposal that we are creating. And also it gives us a differential value for our competitors. We can be in the avant-garde. Also, a big benefit when working with the startups is the agility. They are very flexible, they are very nimble, and they can adapt to the needs of the customer. And I don't know if you see it this way, or maybe you believe that it has disadvantages as well. And well, the flexibility in the processes allows in two different layers to work with Telefónica. And big corporations have more flexible projects, and this flexibility allows us to adapt to big corporations. So a startup is it's easier to have a flexible startup than a flexible big corporation, and also the time to market is very short, and this allows when we detect new needs, they have the capability to evolve their services in a very short period of time. This means that you can still be a leader in the market. So adapting to a big company as Telefónica and always being in the avant-garde with this flexibility are two crucial aspects. And going back to the proposal of Wayra, so Wayra is a key piece in this collaboration between startups and corporations, because we have people in charge of this business development in our hubs, and our role is not only creating these connections and finding these parties and these partners, but also to solve the problems that might arise. And also adapting to the limitations of a startup and, for example, resources, smaller teams. Do you think that we can contribute? Well, I think that yes, that is this added value in this relationship, and it's like two very different worlds. And we see Wayra, from our experience, as a catalyzing agent between these two worlds, and they have one foot in the startup world and one foot in the big corporation world. So it can be like the link, and we can obtain a lot of benefits, and also the relationship, the degree of relationship. And we've had a lot of success, and because we find people who are great at what they are doing, and I think that Wayra is the good link to establish this relationship between these awesome people and these startups, and these something that it's working very well in Latin America. And thanks to this event, we could connect you with Fernando and the team of Telefónica Spain to start this business. And what do you think? The role of Wayra? I think it's a key part, and something that makes us different. And it would be very difficult for a very small startup to have access to Telefónica as a very big corporation. This is fundamental. And then when something comes from Wayra, we know that you see a potential. So it went through the virus filter. So it is something that can help us a lot. And then thirdly, what can we do? There is a starting point. We don't start from scratch, and we know what to expect. And it would be more difficult to start from scratch. And Wayra is giving us something that is already ready, so to say. And also, I wanted to ask you, which are the difficulties, disadvantages, or obstacles in this project? Well, the first difficulty is the big anxiety of startups and the big velocity as well. And as Fernando says, it is like a big corporation, and it's difficult to move it and to stop it, this big corporation. It's like a big cruise ship. And I think that it helps us with this anxiety that startups have. And also to find these key people that you see, these great people that make things happen. So sometimes we need time and years, and it is difficult to find these people who make a difference. And which are the barriers? Well, I would say that one of the main problems that we face and our startup working with Telefónica is that in Telefónica there are a lot of projects and priorities. We have a very big portfolio, so we needed to put this idea of the startup on the focus. And what does this mean? To find a person who is going to sponsor it in the company and is going to coordinate the different departments in Telefónica to launch a service and to keep on working and never stop working. And this means that you can coordinate different areas and systems and different areas in which the key part is this sponsor that is going to boost. And I think it's important to make priorities and not to forget it. So also to achieve the coordination of different areas so that it is successful. So these are the main two areas, and I think that this makes the business not as immediate as we would love it to be. And obviously it's difficult to find the perfect fit right away. Sometimes we see a product, we want to launch it, but maybe for the corporation it's not the best time to do it. And on the other way around, maybe there is an important need and we need to look for a specific startup and an innovative solution to fulfill this need, but maybe the startup is not mature enough to fulfill this need and to work with Telefónica. So then my next question would be, in which state should the startup be in order to work with Telefónica? Well, so we started 8 years ago with Telefónica, so there are different aspects. We need to know which is the product market fit and the value proposal, and how we can be strategic and choose the exact moment. This is the ideal feed. When in Telefónica, we can establish different relationships, and I think that we need to be responsible to take care of these relationships and the client. So that this link is not just another channel. We need to take care of these channels, and we need to take care of our customers, and we need to be responsible with these assets that Telefónica has. And do you think that startups that should be working with Telefónica are startups that have a product market fit, or what else? What else do you look for in a startup to work with a Telefónica? Well, what David said, sometimes the feed between a startup and Telefónica is not immediate, and it requires a lot of things, and maybe it's a great idea, and maybe it's not in the specific maturity level. So there are some elements that are key, and in Telefónica there is specifically one, and we also need to understand what's going to happen. So it has to be profitable since the beginning, and it needs to have this post-sales model, a roadmap for the next 2-3 years. And why do we ask for this? Well, because we've had different cases, and the startup sometimes is not ready. And also, this aspect of innovation and services and experience, and in the end, a big project, maybe it dies because of success, because the company was not ready for it. And with WiseCX, they had this vision, this roadmap, and this is the reason why it's been a complete success. Yes, I fully agree with what you just said, because we are in touch with the ecosystem with very innovative solutions, and maybe we can analyze this possibility, and sometimes we don't know if it's the adequate moment for that. There are some teams that are going to give support to this innovation. And then to finish, I'd like to ask you, which are your recommendations? What would you say to a startup? What would be your recommendations? Well, I'm going to share our experience, and we only received capital in our seed stage, and now we're going to have a turnover of more than 30 million. So we've been growing, being sustainable and profitable. We've just acquired a company, and it's thanks to the support we received from different strategies to grow. And one of the main levers, 48 of our growth, comes from one of these telcos that support us. This strategy worked really well, and it gives us retention and the client retention processes, for example, and also with this channel as Telefónica that will allow us to grow. And this also allows us to make the most of the potential. So this would be the recipe from our perspective. And we are now focusing on Spain because we think that Spain is going to help us double the revenues, and it is slow. We have to be patient, and in Spain there are thousands of workers, executives, so offering your product and to very remote places. Well, first of all, not to lose hope, because the defeat is not immediate, and sometimes you need to try several times. And there are different factors that we can mention here. First of all, to take advantage of this channel with Wayra. So being with Wayra or not being with Wayra is the key to success. And first of all, to be in Wayra, and then secondly, to know the future and having a roadmap, as I said, 2-3 years time. And there are some startups that work very well if they have 50 orders right now, but if they have 500 orders, they will not be up to the test, and they have to be ready. And what happens if I need to escalate? And then to find the sponsor. To find the sponsor is fundamental, not only in Telefónica. I think that in any place. And it's a key to success. And Matilde, what he said about being the key, and if I think about the past, the most successful things were having a sponsor, an outlier who had a very different vision, that a digital product in time could generate a return on the investment. So I think that finding this sponsor, and this sponsor that has a long-term vision, not only creating the project and also the capability to grow with Telefónica. Well, thank you very much. I don't know if you want to add anything, and if not, thank you very much for being here and for listening to us, and that's all.